Okay, we are about to introduce you to the queen of the Karens, possibly the worst Karen on the entire planet. And she recently went viral because she was leading a Zoom call of white women for Kamala Harris. She is
Karens for Kamala.
Yes, Karens for Kamala would be a more appropriate title. She's a former teacher turned influencer that infantilizes the white women for Kamala Harris and suggests that white women should never correct black women. So she is instructing all of them with her gentle parenting voice to check their privilege.
Is that this one right here?
From Tenet? Yeah.
Yeah, okay, here we go, guys.
Ariel Fodor, affectionately known as Mrs. Frazzle to her combined audience of over 1.5 million followers, is here to help gentle parent us through this
Gosh,
election.
I'm sorry. The way that the top of her teeth like peek out.
Gentle parent us
Sorry, that's
through. Yeah.
Okay, let's.
Pfizer is just like cha-ching.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I am so honored to speak today. I am like shaking to just be among such incredible company. We are here because, as if you were here earlier, you've heard BIPOC women have tapped us in as white women to step up, listen, and get involved this election season. This is a really important time, and we all need to use our voices and influence for the greater good. No matter who you are all influencers in some way. So tonight, I'm going to share some do's and don'ts for getting involved in politics online.
I'm surprised she's not doing hand puppets to do this with.
She might as well, right?
Dude, the audacity. Like,
Just remember that the best way to do your part is to segregate everyone into race and gender groups before having them speak, and then wondering why. You know what it proves is like their authoritarian hold on their own message is so strong they don't even need to talk to each other. They can literally self-segregate into their own weird Pfizer-induced communities and then talk amongst themselves while saying the same thing as a group they have no conversations with because they've all self-segregated because they all fall right in line with the message.
But also,
and she will be the authoritarian who makes sure that you do not deviate from whatever they tell you.
the audacity of like every 5 words she makes a statement that she assumes is like a literal fact, and it's incredible. She's like, dude, the greater good at one point she says, like, it's crazy.
Here we go.
And navigating the toxicity that comes with it. And spoiler alert, as much as the toxicity can come from the outside, it can come from us too. So first, don't isolate yourself. We can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we support each other. But don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening ears on.
Is that just admitting that there is no truth? Like, if you actually are correcting a mistake that someone made and you're not supposed to do that, is that just to say that truth is relative and they don't care?
There's no situation in which a BIPOC woman could be wrong.
God forbid it.
If you're trying to correct a BIPOC woman, that means you're wrong. So we're going to put on our listening ears.
Honestly, the part about telling me that I'm not allowed to isolate makes me more angry. It does.
It says everything about the audience for this.
What? What do you mean not isolate?
Like, it's my God-given right to not have to talk to any of you. It's my God-given right to isolate myself.
By God, I'll use it.
Yes.
I want to not speak to any of you.
Learn from and amplify the voices of those.
I reject the idea that we're better as a community. I reject it. Whole hog. You're allowed to
F all of you.
You're allowed to be perfectly fine on your own.
Have been historically marginalized, and use the privilege you have in order to push for systemic change. As white people, we have a lot to learn and unlearn. So check your blind spots.
Oddly enough, it's a white woman that's the arbiter of what you have to learn and unlearn.
Yeah.
You are responsible for your algorithm, believe it or not.
Well, that's actually true.
So that's Ariel Fodor, also known as Mrs. Frazzled on social media. And this is her entire brand. She was kind of toning it down for the Zoom call, but her entire brand is using gentle parenting language to indoctrinate people. into her weird leftist views. She speaks to everyone as if they are 5 years old, to condescend to them. And I've never seen a better example to explain what the longhouse is. This woman is the longhouse. That Zoom call is the longhouse. So let's watch another one of her videos where she gentle parents us into her ideology.
Dear God.
Macaroni cheese, everybody freeze. Uncle Don, no one wants to take your gas stove. No, friend, they just want you to know about your gas stove. Do you see how it says natural gas? Yeah, they just want to put a little warning sticker on your stove so that you know that it actually means methane gas. Yeah, the one making the world warmer. Yes, that is really happening. Can you catch a bubble, please? California has used stickers to warn people about chemicals for a long, long time, and the stickers are nothing to be afraid of. I promise. They just want people to know about the health impacts of burning gas so that we can be safer. Yeah, because people like me, I have asthma. I need to be careful around burning things. I know, I didn't know either. And that's why they're saying that there should be more information so people can learn about that. Nobody is coming to take your stove. Take a deep breath, please. Smell the flour. Blow the soup. Yeah, I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to ask for either. Do you want to sign this paper with me? Okay, let's do it. Learning new things is great. I'm glad you're not scared anymore. Back to cooking, sure. Let's just turn on the range hood and crack a window, though. Macaroni cheese, everybody free.
Yeah, so when she's instructing the listener to not interrupt, she says, catch a bubble. So you catch a bubble in your mouth and close your mouth so that you can listen to her teach you.
So the assumption of a midwit is that their intelligence is at least, middle of the line. Mm-hmm. I, as a completely reasonable art of war enjoyer, somewhat mid IQ person, understand that when you speak in such a tone, it is dismissive and condescending, and so literally simply by the nature of it, no lessons will be learned. Thus,
yes,
I am gonna use a transitive. What's the transitive? Transitive. I will use.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
sorry.
dissociating. It's fine.
Not on purpose. I apologize. This woman.
You're sweating.
This woman would nuke you in 10 seconds. She would.
Because Macron called her fat.
Yes.
So she hit the big red button.
Correct.
I mean, yeah, I saw one of the replies say not beating the only ever evolved to have authority over children allegations.
Dude, Freud would be slobbering over this.
Yeah, but you're right. It's funny because I remember as a child, I hated being spoken to this way. Not even children resonate with this kind of condescending tone, let alone your, conservative boomer uncle who's arguing with you about gas stoves. It's literally just a virtue signal to the rest of the internet that already agrees with everything she's saying. She has another video where she is gentle parenting big oil. Gentle parenting all of the big oil companies.
I should have played you. There's actually, you know what? Okay, we'll show this and then on. I got one.
Okay.
This one?
Yep.
Hi, friends. It's time to share the Arctic now. Your turn is all done.
Yeah.
Got it. I know you like when people share with you. Well, you need to share the Earth with everyone, plants, animals, and people. The White House had to take special action to protect 13 million acres of land in the Alaskan Arctic because the Arctic is a super special place. Yeah, people need gas for cars these days, but there are more respectful ways to do it.
More respect.
Taking things from super special places hurts nature. So let's turn your choices around and find ways to help the Earth instead. Did you know places like the Arctic need to stay cool to keep our planet the right temperature? When you protect places like the Arctic, you are helping keep the Earth cool. And touch your listening ears. Because you made sad choices, now you need to stay in your area. And these 13 million acres of protected land over here are not for you anymore. Does that make sense? Okay? Okay. Now we know special places need to be protected, and we're all done taking up space that's not ours.
Christ,
Shine on for protecting our planet.
You know what?
Bye, friend.
You know what else is funny is obviously her entire brand is the gentle parenting thing, and she speaks to everyone like they're 5 years old, but realistically, I don't think that this woman has any children.
There's no way.
I don't think she has any children. I don't think she's going to have any children, probably because she is such a climate ideologue and has this mindset that, you know, having children would be bad for your carbon footprint.
Yes.
But, you know, she needs to treat the entire internet as children because she has none. And clearly that's the only way that she's able to exercise authority over anybody.
I mean,
and she's on a total power trip. That's why she's so infuriating.
This doesn't work on any. Okay, yes, power trip, right? The point here is that this reeks of the most authoritarian human being that you've ever seen in your entire life. Now, if you want to make fun of big oil, I'm okay with that, right? Like here, I saw this one just yesterday. You'll laugh.
You know that on my page, I've always been a champion for the underdog, like the disturbingly attractive, the filthy rich, and the insanely but deservedly famous. But now I have an even bigger underdog that needs our support. Big oil. The oil and gas industry only made $172 billion in profits in 2023. That's barely even oligarch level. And yeah, sure, they drive climate change, but people are only against that because they look horrible in crop tops. And I've tried my best to help fund this struggling industry. As an occasional taxpayer, people like you and I are the reason that big oil enjoyed subsidies and tax breaks to the tune of $470 billion over the last century. But it's not enough. Okay, obviously I'm joking. This isn't even my sweater. I'd never wear anything so humble looking. But if you want to help, go defund big oil by demanding that our leaders work to remove tax breaks for the oil and gas industry. Click on the link in my bio.
I would rather see that propaganda than her propaganda any day of the week.
Dude, because the thing is, snark is wit simulacra. It is the attempt for the humorless to convey humor, which is potentially the most convincing state of being of all humanity.
Hers is at least what Musings of a Crouton, which is who that one is a more layered comedian. Not just an ideologue who wants to indoctrinate a bunch of people. Maybe she does believe these things, but she puts her art first.
Yeah.
You want to call it art?
Right.
And you get more people on your side. Look, I don't agree with either of them, but I'm going to at least listen to the other one. I'm not going to listen to somebody condescend and speak to me in a voice of the authoritarian mom who sends you to your room because you didn't finish dinner.
When I see Mrs. Frazzled, all I think about is Yuri Vesmanov. When he was talking about like how some like the communists have infiltrated your country and they like completely like propagandize like a part of the population, and to which he gets promptly asked, so how do you unbrainwash these people? He's like, you don't like, you literally, it is incumbent upon you to now raise another generation and instill values upon them. And it's like this, like, how do you reason with this person?
You cannot.
That speaks to you like a baby. She thinks you're a baby. Like how do it be like do you?
Once again, I mean, only ever evolved to have authority over children allegations are still going strong because this woman speaks to everyone like they're 5 years old due to the fact that she has no children of her own. Obviously, there is some kind of Freudian unfulfilled void in her life. And this is the way that she chooses to have authority over people because, again, she is power hungry. And
that's all I see when I see that is just somebody who's desperate to lord over you.
Yeah.
The moral busybody is the worst type of villain because they will never stop torturing you because they're doing so because they believe it is for your own good. I would rather somebody just want to harm me than try to harm me for my own good.
Yeah, but I agree with you that, you know, if you're going to try to propagandize me, at least do it well.
Yes.
Let me buy into it.
There's plenty of comedians that I like that make that type of satire that are very much not even like an old school liberal like me, but leftists, right? That have leftist causes, that if you can at least give me funny comedy that speaks against something that I believe in, I'm willing to entertain that because I find the comedy engaging. What I just heard there wasn't comedy. It was just weird propaganda for people who are going to die and be eaten by cats.
This woman's existence in and of itself is an argument for repealing the 19th, but I'm going to stop talking.
But here's the problem, right? Like, people can make that claim. People can make that claim all they want, right? It's a losing argument because it's never going to happen, and the right loses the female vote more and more with every election. How do you combat
because
creepy
women like this exist?
Mrs. Authoritarian? How do you push back against baby talking Mrs. Authoritarian? You can't, because she's going to speak to more and more women as they don't get married and don't have kids, and it's going to get worse and it's going to get worse until one day I am being lashed for my own good because I need to learn a lesson.
It is a gigantic catch-22 because it's impossible to communicate to the people that think I'm a baby and are incapable of understanding the abstractions themselves that when I criticize her, it is not a slight at women, half or more of the population. It is a criticism of her. I do not hate women. Some say I love women.
Some say you are a woman.
Some say I am every woman.
Yeah.
Yet her archetype rubs me the wrong way. By the way, intentionally, because she's trying to rub me the wrong way.
Right. She's accomplishing exactly what she wanted to do.
I would normally be infinitely indifferent as I am to most people. Should she not speak this way, but she's achieving her desired result and she's angry for it. It's like, what a loop. What a business.
It's kind of sad that someone like this exists, because I just feel like if she grew up in a different time and didn't end up on antidepressants and going to four-year college, getting indoctrinated, and didn't have social media, she would actually be like normal and pleasant. But now she's been robbed of the opportunity to be normal, and
apparently she's
inflicting herself on everyone.
She used to be a teacher.
It says former teacher turned influencer.
It's perfect. It's right up her alley.
Well, at least she's turned into an influencer, because I don't want this woman anywhere near kids.
Yeah.
That's at least a good thing.
By the way, we're making a lot of assumptions about her, but we're right.
No, we're right.
Betting odds is we're right about 4/5 of them, for sure.
That she's an authoritarian, I would take as a non-betting man. I would take. It's
a given.
I would put a lot of money on her having high authoritarian tendencies.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.